The Ramayana of Valmiki by Maharishi Valmiki. Translated by Hari Prasad Shastri. Narrated by Matthew Schmitz. Introduction. Western culture is only just beginning to look beyond the Roman and Greek civilizations for new inspiration. Even so, it is a little surprising that, although the mighty epics of the Iliad and the Odyssey are widely known and loved, only a few scholars have studied their Hindu counterparts, known as the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. In fact, no good complete modern English translation of the Ramayana exists, and the best of those, made in the last half of the 19th century, are unobtainable outside the larger libraries. The Ramayana is a work of great antiquity attributed to the illustrious sage Valmiki. Its date of composition cannot be fixed with any certainty, particularly as, in common with other Sanskrit classics, it was not at first committed to writing, but was passed on from singer to singer. This process also accounts for the fact that the various versions, or sakhas, of the poem that have come down to us differ slightly in context. The interesting fact is that the scholars are agreed that the Ramayana is the grandly conceived and executed masterpiece of one poet, and not a collection of stories from many sources, loosely gathered together. Unfortunately, we know very little about the Rishi Valmiki, whose title, Adikavi, or first poet, and the preeminence in Sanskrit verse has never been seriously challenged to this day. He was a robber chief in a forest in northern India, and on one occasion waylaid two ascetics for the purpose of plundering them. The travelers, however, spoke to him with kindness and offered him the spiritual truth in lieu of the gold and silver which they did not possess. Convinced of their sincerity and on their advice, Valmiki changed his mode of life and became a devotee of Sri Ramachandra, the seventh incarnation of God, or Vishnu, on earth. After a long period of meditation on the form and virtues of Sri Rama, it is said that he was granted a vision of Rama's life from beginning to end. He gave expression to this unique experience in Sanskrit verse in the 24,000 slokas, or 48,000 lines, known as the Ramayana. The sloka is a specific meter which the poet himself discovered, as is told in a beautiful passage in the first book. The poem is divided into 7 books, or khandas, of unequal length, which may be very briefly summarized as follows. Book 1. Balakanda. King Dasaratha of Ayodhya, or Ud, performs a sacrifice in the hope of obtaining a son. At this time the gods, or devas, are alarmed at the power acquired by the mighty titan named Ravana, who, by the practice of black...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?